When we came here 4 years ago, we felt an instant connection to people. They reached out, they invited us to their homes, they were friendly.
The people know each other. A lot of people have formed friendships.
We've been a growing congregation that's wanted to do more among ourselves and in the community.
We are definitely very blessed, and we want to continue to be a blessing to others.
I think part of it here is the location. I think it's Pastor Seifert's sermons, which are online, and I think people look at those kind of things and decide to give things a try. I think people here are really good at telling their neighbors about what they believe and where they go to church and inviting them to come.
I grew up in a Baptist church. I'm not a member of the church yet, and I have a meeting with Pastor Seifert this Thursday evening to talk about that, but there's a gentleman that goes to church here that I'm good friends with that he's come and helped me on a couple of jobs, and we got to talking. He was sitting around eating lunch and stuff, and he was telling me about his church. He asked me if I would like to attend, and I told him that, yeah, I would. Then when I spoke with Howard about coming here and speaking with Pastor Seifert and doing a little research on my own, I felt comfortable here.
Over the years, the average number of assisted living residents that we reach on a weekly basis has ranged from the 50s all the way up to close to 100 at some times. We're able to bring them the love and forgiveness of Jesus in the last years of their lives when they're facing loneliness.
This is a real special service to me. It's very easy to understand, nothing over our heads, and it makes us feel very much spiritually fed. I say he should have been here a long time ago.
Another thing that is a great opportunity for us is our summer vacation Bible school, which we've called Fine Arts Camp for the last several years.
It has really given us the opportunity to serve a lot of people that I'm convinced that we otherwise wouldn't. Second or third day of the camp, and a lady came up with a rather serious look on her face, and she said, "I just want to know who does the teaching here." We go to the chapel down the street, and our kids have learned more in just a few days here than they have learned in years down there.
We're fortunate that we have a team that comes every year from Luther Preparatory School in Watertown, Wisconsin. So it's in that way we're growing future church workers too and helping them see what it can be like out in a mission kind of setting.
There's one girl, I don't remember her name, who they came there, these two sisters. They just liked hanging out with me, and I'd give them piggyback rides in and out of church, and I knew that they weren't church members. And sitting there and watching them learn the stories and watching them participate, they were having fun with it, and they were learning something, they were enjoying it. It was just a terrific experience. I came back from that trip and I told my dad right away, I know for sure I'm going to be a pastor.
For having the lack of facility that we do, I think we do a tremendous amount of things, and we become a place that people can go and feel safe and share things, and we have a pastor that listens and is accepting of everybody.
We're not a super large congregation, and we have tight quarters and limited resources, so a lot of the things that we do together. I think that anybody can observe that after a Sunday service out in the fellowship hall. When I go back to take my robe off, I can barely get through the maze of people.
I really believe that we have the opportunity for growth.
Over a period of 2 years, back and forth with the congregation, a committee put together a long-range plan that includes a facility expansion. It's to facilitate bringing the gospel more deeply into our own hearts and to others who do not know it or have a distorted view of what grace really is. It's going to be difficult to do that without an expansion because we're simply bursting at the seams. The three goals of the campaign, one is to increase the number of souls that we can reach.
There are certainly more things we could do around here if we had more space. Especially, I guess, one of the things that bothers me the most is our lack of classroom space.
We want to be a congregation that focuses on education, something that is really a niche for us. It's lacking in a lot of churches. So the Christian Living Seminars would be one way of doing that. Just a one-night thing where we delve into a topic that is likely on a lot of people's minds. Conflict in relationships, kids and the internet. We can gather together, encourage people to bring their friends, and in doing that we can also let them see who we are, get to know each other, build relationships with us, all with the goal of bringing the gospel to them. Our Sunday school and Bible class, we have a strong program there, but space is really limiting right now. We're hoping that we can expand our facility so that we can have more dedicated classroom space where children and adults aren't constantly getting interrupted and have distractions. Since those Jesus and Me confirmation class are taking place right out in the narthex fellowship hall where people enter, people can't get in without interrupting the class. Another big space need would be accommodating young families during worship. When they have a baby in church that's getting a bit fussy, there's really nowhere to go, and that can be especially difficult if you are a visiting family that isn't at home here and doesn't feel comfortable.
The other area where we're feeling the crunch is inside our sanctuary. And when we have those special services, we're shoulder to shoulder.
Maybe it's kind of like in your own house. You know, it gets a little bit messy, cramped, but you're family, so you put up with it. But when you have guests over, there's a higher standard to which you want to hold yourself.
It'd be nice to be able to have a larger facility so that we could expand the number of kids that we could have in the camp.
Unfortunately, and this really kills me, we've had to cap it. And we've capped it at 50 kids because it's not really safe in some of the spaces we have to have more kids than that. But I think that itself says to me there's a potential for great growth here, and our facility is one of the things that's hampering that growth.
The second main pillar of our capital campaign is to daughter congregations. Now, that's not in our long-range plan at all, and we don't have our sights on anywhere specific, but this is an area of the country where there's a lot of people and there's a lot of need for the gospel. Third pillar of the capital campaign is to contribute a substantial amount of the offerings received, to contribute that to Martin Luther College's Equipping Christian Witnesses campaign. The goal is to take 10% of the offerings that come in and send them to the college that trains Living Hope's next pastor. Living Hope starts a school. Living Hope's next teacher.
We recognize that we need pastors, and we really love and appreciate our pastor and want other people to have good pastors, especially Lutheran pastors.
Our congregation wants to reach out to the world, and right now we're reaching out to our little corner of the world, but I could see us getting connected in many, many ways as we continue to grow.
It's our prayer that the Not Unto Us campaign would raise $450,000. That would be enough to serve as a down payment, and it'd be enough to get the building expansion started. This is a big undertaking.
It may be ambitious, but I definitely believe it's possible.
We should never be less than ambitious for what we're doing for him. I think we have to look forward to future generations. We have to look forward to who we can bring in to this facility that we don't even know right now.
When you grow, you need more space. And just like a family that grows from having one kid to having 3 kids, they look for more space.
So, yeah, I have a lot of hope for our church.
God calls us to be faithful, to proclaim, to be His light in a dark world. And He'll know how to bless it.
Not unto us, but unto God be the glory given.